Yo, people. So, yes, it's about that time. I have another one. And this one is epic. As they go, this one is epic. And hopefully, this will awaken people. Although, this is not for the beginners of this royal actor business. So, let's get straight into it. So, I believe that the new British Prime Minister, Liz Truss, was also Queen Elizabeth II. So as I do this video and release it on 9/11, the anniversary of 9/11, and by no coincidence, the Queen's final journey. Now, first of all, I want to shout out Red Bush T in the comments and Peter James in the comments for making some comments that sparked my thoughts on this. I was already thinking about stuff, but they definitely said some comments that led me on to making this video. So obviously, they don't really look anything like each other. I mean, obviously, if you really look at it, you can see some similarities around the mouth area and the nose, but they really don't look like each other. And you know, these are the level of the masks that they use. Many of my other videos have shown you where they've used different races, completely different ages. The masks they use to disguise are very, very believable. But I didn't notice it at first, but if you notice this picture of Liz Truss, I mean, why would they take a photo of her in purple by the docks with a big crane in the background? Then I realised, of course, the crane, the yellow crane, is representing the crown, which is, this is how they roll and this is the kind of thing they do. So the first thing to look at and what sparked this, and which Red Bush Tea suggested, which I'd already seen myself, it just sort of made me think about it more, was obviously Liz Truss is Elizabeth and Queen Elizabeth, so there's that connection there. Then Peter James suggested that Liz Truss was wearing purple on the leadership election day, and I hadn't watched any of it, so I hadn't noticed, but as you can see here, she was wearing purple, which is a blatant connection to royalty and a point towards her being the Queen. Then if we look at their names, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary as for Queen Elizabeth, and Mary Elizabeth Truss for Liz Truss, which is a blatant link and made me realise that we were onto something. So let's deal with this photo. First of all, we're dealing with Hollywood, CGI, everything they can do these days. They fake photos all the time. We know that. This is an easily faked photo. Not only is it faked, the fact that they're making the Queen look really small and Liz Truss look really big is just more smoke and mirrors illusion. And if you wonder how they do the heights thing, I'll give you some examples with these photos here. As you can see, it's very easy, and many people do this at the Eiffel Tower. It's another one here, to make big and small, far away, near, make things with photos and TV different to what they actually are. So how did I come to the conclusion? Because I could see the links and I knew I was onto something, but I was like, it's not strong enough, they don't look alike, there's nothing strong enough there, I need some real strong evidence. So I was looking for the evidence before I did this video. I really needed something else, even though I could see the links and how they work. I'm like thinking, this has got to be the truth, but we really need some stronger evidence. And then I remembered this week, whilst doing my video on King Philippe of Belgium, I came across this picture, which I knew before anyway, of King Philippe of Belgium, aka Prince Philip, which we know from my previous video, with his recently united stepsister and illegitimate daughter of his father, King Albert of Belgium, Delphine Boel, or now to be known as Princess Delphine of Belgium, aka Kurt Cobain, which we know from my previous video. So, and as I was looking at this, and because I'd been researching King Felipe, I knew his wife Matilda, and I thought, you know, and I know that they play many royals, so I'm thinking, do you know what? I think that's his wife Matilda playing Delphine Boel. And if we look at his wife here and Delphine here, put them together, you can start to see how they look very, very similar. So, getting back to my other video of the Queen and Prince Philip there, and Prince Philip being King Felipe of Belgium, and this is the photo that confirmed it for me. Prince Philip on the left, King Felipe on the right, both younger, looking very, very similar. And as I showed in my previous video, this photo of the children's TV presenter, Mr. Rogers, in the US, aka Prince Philip and King Felipe, and his wife looking very much like Queen Elizabeth, and also very much like Queen Matilda, King Felipe's wife. So as I said, my previous video proving that Delphine Boel, or Delphine de Saxe-Coburg as she's now known, who was playing Kurt Cobain, and as you can see here, she even liked my comment I made on her Instagram saying, "Nice one, Kurt." I realised that Kurt Cobain and the Queen of England were the same person. That blew my head off. So obviously the link to this, Nirvana Pennyroyal Tea, and notice the purple Nirvana writing, and this is the plant Pennyroyal Tea, or Pennyroyal, that makes the Pennyroyal Tea, and as you can see it's purple. Then of course we have here a purple penny stamp, Pennyroyal, with the Queen's head on it. And then this, Kurt Cobain's death, suicide note made tragic reference to Queen star Freddie Mercury. So of all the things you could talk about in your suicide note, he mentions Freddie Mercury, but in particular he references the Queen, which is a subtle link, but a massive link if you understand how they work. So once I thought about that, I then could finally see how Liz Truss and the Queen could be the same person, because I started to see that Delphine Boel and Liz Truss look very, very similar. And when you start doing the comparisons, you can see there they look very similar. The eyebrows are slightly different. They've changed the eyes slightly, but they look very, very similar. And if you notice them here, if we put those together there, they look very, very similar. The more you look at it, the more you start to see how similar they are. And of course, as I've shown in my previous video, this photo of Delphine Boel, and the bit that gives away that they wear masks. You can see that little bit of skin there going up to the ear. That's how they wear the masks. And that's how I came to the conclusion that Kurt Cobain, the Queen of England, and now Liz Truss are all the same person. And that is some mind-blowing royal actor madness. Hope you enjoy this video. Peace!